The days were going slow, that summer slow in a way that almost felt intentional. Like time had joined in on the punishment. We weren't allowed to sit on the porch. Couldn't play guitar. Couldn't really do anything except sit inside that stale, overheated house and watch whatever garbage happened to be on TV. No classes, no groups, no sense of movement. It was like voluntary house arrest. And the thing was, if I left, I had nowhere else to go. Back then I didn't even know how to get into an online AA meeting. Nobody showed me, nobody suggested it. And I didn't have the energy to figure it out. So I sat there, trapped inside my own head and inside that house. Miserable in every direction. Eventually something in me snapped. Not a dramatic snap, more like a slow fracture that had been spreading for weeks until it finally reached a breaking point. I couldn't do the routine anymore. I couldn't do the sitting around, waiting for something to happen that never would. Being told what to do, where to go, when to breathe. I was a 40-something-year-old man, feeling like a kid grounded in his own life. Going outside and rolling the dice started sounding a hell of a lot better than another day of that. The only thing I could do musically was make trap beats on my phone. That was the only little spark of me left in that place. I'd sit on the edge of the bed with headphones in, tapping out a kick, and an 808 like was the last rope I was holding on to. But even that started feeling small, like I was shrinking, like the walls were pressing in. And that's when the thought crept in, the kind of thought every alcoholic knows too well but hates to admit. Life wasn't that bad when I was drinking. That is the trap. That's the disease. That little whisper that shows up when you're tired, lonely, or boxed in. If you're not careful, if you're not brutally honest with yourself, it will get you. It doesn't need a dramatic moment, it just needs a crack. Between the shitty TV playing all day and one of the housemates yelling his entire phone conversation loud enough for the neighbors to hear, I felt myself unraveling. He talked like the whole world was a stage, pacing around the living room like he was starring in some sitcom nobody asked for. I remember thinking, I don't know where I'm going, but it's gotta be better than this. At least out on the street, nobody was treating me like a child. At least there, the air was mine. My decisions were mine. My failures were mine. I checked my bank account, what little was left of it. Barely enough for a cheap room at a dive motel. Maybe a few days to breathe and figure out my next move. But when you're suffocating, even 3 days of air feels like a rescue. I packed my belongings. Not much, just enough to fill a backpack and a trash bag. That's all my life had been reduced to. I didn't even make a speech or say goodbye. I just walked out. Quiet, tired, done. The sun hit me when I stepped outside, and it felt like stepping out of a basement after months underground. I didn't know where the bus was going. I didn't even care. Anything had to be better than going back into that house and pretending I could hold myself together. And the truth? I didn't even make it 50 days sober. Not even close. There's a certain kind of shame that comes with admitting that. But there's also a certain kind of freedom. Because pretending doesn't keep you sober. YKNUC cling doesn't keep you sober. Sitting in a house full of strangers doing nothing all day definitely doesn't keep you sober. Looking back, I wasn't leaving sobriety, I was leaving a cage. And sometimes when you're cornered long enough, even the wrong door looks like an exit. I didn't know it then, but that moment walking out with my bag, unsure of where I'd sleep or what would happen, wasn't the end of the slow burn. It was the beginning of the fire finally catching. The beginning of something breaking open inside me. The beginning of a truth I didn't want to face but needed to. You can't heal in a place that makes you feel smaller than the thing you're trying to escape. And I was escaping more than alcohol. I was escaping a version of myself that didn't know how to live yet.